I got asked this question: what is Sales Navigator? And I thought, you know what, this would be a great little short video. I can give you some really good insights on what is Sales Navigator. But before I do, hit that subscribe and the notify button, because I create all of this content for you. Sales Navigator is a premium subscription to LinkedIn. I mean, basic LinkedIn for most people looks like this. I am a premium user. That's what that means right there, which means I'm paying for something, in this case, Sales Navigator. And when you pay for Sales Navigator or Recruiter, it puts the link to it right there. When you click on that, boom, it takes you into Sales Navigator. Now, it's a whole nother interface. But the reason it's a whole nother interface is because it does LinkedIn a little bit differently. Let me explain to you the big differences that you can and the value you can get out of these differences. Number one, in Sales Navigator, if I do a search and I look at lead filters, I have about 24 individual lead filters. Now, not all of them are going to be relevant to everybody. You know, people in CRM may not be relevant to you, and Team Link may not be relevant to you, depending upon which version of Sales Navigator you're subscribing to. But when I go to do a search in Sales Navigator, I've got way more filters and way more finite focused filters than I do in LinkedIn. Now, this is for leads. I go here and look for accounts, the same thing. I have more filters and accounts for accounts search than I do in Sales Navigator. I think LinkedIn has about 5, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 filters in Sales Navigator. Interestingly, they took one away. Really frustrated they took that away. They took away the one that was showing your network, or you connected. So it would only show accounts where you have a first level connection in that account. And interestingly enough, it put that over in LinkedIn. Don't get that. But bottom line, one of the biggest features of Sales Navigator is the powerful search tools that are built into Sales Navigator. Now, let's talk about the next most important thing: paying attention. So when you find accounts or you find leads that are important to you, then you want to save them. And you can see Gateway Mortgage and Joe and all the other names are either companies' accounts or leads in LinkedIn members that I have saved and said, I want them in my Sales Navigator so I can pay attention to what they are talking about. So I get the ability to see every time they share content. Now, I don't see when they engage on content. I can only see when they shared content, or they were mentioned, or their company was mentioned, et cetera, et cetera. But why is that important? This lets me focus my engagement with my target audience, my saved leads. So I'm not in LinkedIn just hoping and praying to find content I want to engage on. If Joe is my target audience, then I'm going to engage on his content here just by clicking on that content, and brings it up over here. And it gives me the ability to read what he says, go read the article, and then I can come back and like or comment on it. Which, by the way, I wish this was reversed, because comment is the most important engagement. Like is not as important. But bottom line is I get to pay attention to what conversations are going on here. I get to pay attention to leads, or I get to pay attention to accounts, and I can filter the accounts. I can go look at specific accounts if I want to. If I go back to leads, I can filter the leads, if I want to, and pay attention to specific lead activity so that I can engage on that content. Because again, one of the important aspects of LinkedIn and Sales Navigator and LinkedIn in general is for you to get into conversations with your target audience. Now, additionally, I can pay attention to individuals on here, and I can bring up their profile. Let me bring up somebody I have permission to bring that up. And if I were not already connected with Randy, then I'd have the ability to send an email, or I had the ability to connect with them. You can see he's already first level. So I can message the leads that I'm following in Sales Navigator. And if I'm not connected with them, I can send them an email from here. And additionally, if I'm not connected with them, I have the ability to send them a LinkedIn invite as well, so that I can engage with them directly from within Sales Navigator. Again, I can engage with them through an email. I can engage with them through an invite. I can also go find the conversations that they're having. I can see all activity. and I can make a decision, wow, maybe I want to engage on this. I click on it, it's going to kick me over into LinkedIn, but it's going to let me get down here, read his content, see what he has to share, and then engage with him directly. Once I do that, come back, and I get back to his activity here. Once I'm done engaging, I can come back, and I come back to his profile. Engaging on their content, engaging through emails, engaging through messaging, engaging through LinkedIn invites. All of those are great ways to engage with your target audience. I also have the ability from within Sales Navigator not only to pay attention to accounts, but I can bring an account up and I can go look at JP Morgan Chase. I can look at their LinkedIn company page, and I can see all kinds of information just very similar to what I can see in LinkedIn. I can look at their insights, their people, any alerts that are out there, and I can look and see who some of the and their what's called the networking map. Who are the people that are important to me that I may want to connect with or get introduced to or engage with in some way or another. I can also see other individuals who work for the company over here. You can see the growth or the decline of the company. I can also go look at other alerts. They're mentioned in the news, et cetera, et cetera. Pay attention to individual types of alerts so I can do research not only on leads, but research on accounts within Sales Navigator. So in summary, Sales Navigator is a much more powerful search tool looking at LinkedIn members and LinkedIn company pages. Sales Navigator lets me to put activity in the news feed, or they call it the alerts, that is really important to me, relevant to the people, my leads that I'm following and my accounts I'm following versus everybody I'm connected to. Sales Navigator lets me be more purposeful and focused on my engagement with my target audience. It really is a great networking tool, a great prospecting tool for anybody who is serious about finding the right people through LinkedIn, connecting and engaging with the right people and pulling them into conversations. I'm Teddy, your LinkedIn and Sales Navigator strategist, trainer, and coach. And I hope this is helpful for you.